Hey guys, it's Come Follow Me time again. So we're in 2nd Nephi, chapters 31 through to 33, which is 3 chapters. And you're like, well, that's not much reading. Well, it's not, but it's a good thing because it's a busy week, right? And we got that lead up to Easter. Now, remember, I take a break on Easter, so if you don't hear anything from me on Easter, I'm fine. I might do some little things, but I don't really do a lesson, because I'm like, you're totally capable to notice these things and share them yourself. So I got you. You got this. And then, of course, we got conference. So that's exciting as well. And I'm going to be posting all the stuff and reposting it because it's just one of my favorite times of the year. Probably get more excited about conference, general conference, especially the April one. I mean, I love the October one too, but I get more excited about that than I would Christmas or birthdays. So, yeah, that's just me. Maybe you're not there yet or you just don't share that, but that's where I'm at. Anyway, so let's have a look at this. So I've broken it up into 5 things, but again, I really invite you to just come in and read this and read through the Come Follow Me manual and discuss it with your family. That is where you're going to find the joy that you're seeking and what you're after anyway. But I just want to point out some stuff. This is what I did. Just point out some things that I thought prayerfully after studying this that might help you. I just go with that. I don't have any great, light bulb moments or anything about, the people need to hear this. I just get this gentle nudging like, yeah, share that one. I'm like, okay. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. Okay, so chapter 31 and verse 3. So this whole sort of last 3 chapters is very much a Nephi saying farewell. As in, I've taught you everything I can. I've given you the best advice I can. And take it, and please listen, and this is why, and it's going to help you, and it's a plea to all the people that read it and will receive it, and especially us, to take these things in and give them a go. Take these promises and make them sure. So Moroni does it in maybe a more eloquent way at the end of the Book of Mormon where he writes his thing, his farewell. He might say some things a little more eloquently, but remember, Nephi's already said he's a no-fluff writer. He's writing stuff and it's direct. So this is Nephi's personality in his writing, and it's really cool. I love this. So anyway, verse 3 of chapter 31, 2 Nephi 31, verse 3 says, For my soul delighteth in plainness, for after this manner doth the Lord work among the children of men. For the Lord God giveth light unto the understanding, for he speaketh unto men according to their language and their understanding. Unto their understanding. So this is a spiritual language. Now, Nephi, as we know, quote a lot of Isaiah. He went back and he found answers in the scriptures to the things he was struggling with and his people were struggling with. And he's encouraging us to do the same thing. His soul delighteth in plainness. He doesn't need a whole lot of fancy words. He loves the gospel because it's simple. It doesn't mean that it's easy to do, although it is in many, many ways. We complicate it. Because it's what we do, right? But he loves that it's, a lot of people in the gospel, and I still find this, are looking for some deep philosophical answer to a lot of questions. And, while you might actually obtain some of those things, the very basis of the gospel is to pray, read your scriptures, follow Christ. They're things that are very, very simple and easy to do. Very uncomplicated. We complicate it up. We want it to be this way and add this to it and do something else. We complicate it. What Jesus asked us to do was to follow him. And in following him, learn of him. Walk in his way. It's not complicated. So he loves this plainness, which I love too. And this is how the Lord works among men. He doesn't come in, or men as in people, like mankind. He doesn't give them this complicated set of instructions. It's very simple, and he will give it to you as you need it, a little bit at a time. And we know this, and we learnt this as Nephi went through what he did, leaving Jerusalem, going back, getting the gold plates, and then traveling, building the boat, crossing. Each of those things came to him as he needed it. He didn't have this grand plan at the beginning. He wasn't at age 16. Here's the grand plan. Here's everything you need. It's not how it works. We get it as we need it. So he's talking about that as well. And that the Lord speaks to men or mankind. Anytime you see men in there, mankind according to their language and their understanding. It's a spiritual language. So how does the Lord work with you in plain ways? How does he do that? There's just little nudges of service, of speak to that person, of go that way home instead. They're all very little nudges. They're not like big announcements. You don't open your door in the morning and find, 6 volumes on how to pray or anything like that at all. We don't have to watch extensive training videos on how to read the scriptures. Just read them. Like, that's it. Read it, learn it, find your style. Look at that. What do you want to know? So those are some of my plain ways. And to a lot of people, plain is like, oh no, that can't be where the answers are. That can't be how it is. It's got to be more because it's such a big thing. It's an important thing. Therefore, it must be more complicated. And you know what? It just isn't. And that is just the beauty of it. For so much in the world to get ahead, it's complicated. You've got to navigate a lot of stuff. And in the gospel, you don't. You just don't. Which is just, love it so much. But are you missing or overlooking them because they are plain? These little things. Are you missing or overlooking because they're so plain and they're so easy? Are you missing them? Are you overlooking them or dismissing them as not correct or not enough? Think about that. Jesus Christ and Heavenly Father, they speak to us in our language, how we're going to hear them, what's going to work best for us. And, a lot of people will think, like if they're English speaking, they speak English. No, they don't. They often speak in emotions. They know all the languages, of course, because they're super smart. That'd be a great gift to have, but maybe not sometimes too. I'll stick with the ones I've got, but they speak to us how we hear it, and that might be emotions, that could be words, it could be an example, it could be through someone else. The ways that they talk to us and the ways that they show us things and give us instruction are all very uniquely designed to be the way we're going to hear it the best. So if you're thinking, well, so-and-so heard it this way and that other person heard it that way, it's like, no. Find the way he speaks to you. Find that way. What does that feel like? Discover that. Ask to know what it is. Pray about it. Like, that's what you're going to, but he will do that. So how does that happen to you? They speak to us in the language that we get. How does that happen for you? For me, it's a lot of emotions and just gentle nudging. Sometimes words. More often than not, it's a feeling. So, yeah. How comforting and yet frustrating that we are given according to our understanding, right? It's comforting because it means that whatever I'm given, I have the capacity to understand. And I think that's fantastic. It's also incredibly frustrating because I know there's more and I want more, but I'm not ready for it yet. And that's my own impatience. So it's beautiful, but it's incredibly frustrating at the same time. And God knows your learning style. Isn't that interesting? He knows your learning style. He knows how you're going to do these things. And he just designs it just for you. Each of us. I mean, that's incredible. So Nephi, again, found answers in the scriptures. So who in the scriptures speaks in your spiritual language? One of the examples I have that speaks in my spiritual language is Abraham. He was often frustrated, often just like, this is awful, this is not good, this is not working. Like, great faith, yes, but that's the answer? Oh, okay. And God always came through, and Abraham knew that. And I love the story of Abraham, especially early on when he totally trashed his father's idol room and smashed them all. And he's like, I could die for this, but I don't care. This is wrong. And I have that kind of passion myself, and I would do something similar. I would pretty much assume in that day and time I would do something very similar. And in this day and time have done a couple of things like that to, my father a little bit. He's gone now. He had some things that weren't appropriate, and I just chucked them. Nope, don't need those. He probably went looking for them, but he didn't need them in his life. And you might say, oh, you shouldn't do that. And I'm like, no, I probably shouldn't have, but that's the kind of passion I have. So I can see what Abraham was going through, and not everything. I want to meet him one day, but that's one example. There's some other examples from church history that speak to me in my language. One of them is Mary Fielding Smith. I talk about her a lot. Her passion and her almost like, bucking of male authority over everything at the time. Don't tell me what to do because I'm capable of doing it myself. I get that. It's me. So, who speaks in the scriptures in your spiritual language? Who do you find yourself drawn to? Moroni a lot as well. There's others too that are just, these are my people, I understand them, I feel them, I get it. So who does that do that for you? Because that's what the blessing is. Anyway, hang around. We're going to go over to insight number 2.